one person who has got there,
Mm-hmm.
and one person who's been there and back. At this point, he's held the longest title reign in the light heavyweight division. I think it was
Yep.
1,500 days. And
Yep.
we're obviously talking about the main event, heavyweight championship belt on the line, vacant after Ngannou was unable to sign a contract, and now we have John Jones coming. What most people thought was a retirement, because Lord knows most people thought, especially with those out of the cage problems, that he really wasn't coming back. Versus the already, if he without John Jones coming back, Ciryl Gane is the best heavyweight in the division and in the world. If Nagano, or and not in the world, but basically in the division, because Nagano's still living.
I was gonna
But
say, yeah. There you
yeah,
go.
he ain't dead.
I was gonna say,
Uh,
wait.
so yeah, basically two tanks going at each other, and let me tell you, let me even pause before I say it, because John Jones looked big, boy. That man, he. I understand why he
Does.
did it 2 years. A lot of people didn't think he had to go up from anything under over 215, but he was convinced he had to at least have the frame to compete at 240 plus. And that's just scary.
Tell
Even
me about
before
it,
we
bro.
go into predictions of this fight, let's just talk about how scary that is for a second. The man who's
Very
widely
scary.
regarded as the greatest mixed martial artist on this earth.
Yeah, very
Only
scary.
losses that came from his whole career was disqualification
I don't
from an
want to
illegal
hear
elbow
that.
that was not an illegal
I don't
elbow.
want to hear that. Daniel
That
Cormier has even came out
and
and said
Daniel Cormier with the no contest testing positive when he got knocked out.
Daniel Cormier
The,
even came out and said that he shouldn't have that shouldn't have been a no contest because now that substance is legal in the UFC. So it wasn't back then, but whatever. After like 6 months, they made it legal. I don't know about that one, but the illegal elbows, oh, in my
that
mind,
wasn't
John Jones,
illegal.
yeah,
So
in my mind,
at the end of the
he's
day, he
undefeated.
hasn't been defeated in the cage. He hasn't been defeated in the sports of martial
Exactly.
arts,
He's never
and
been
he's
defeated.
never been defeated. Uh, Granted, he's his own worst enemy. We can clearly see that. But we're talking about the most ferocious fighter this sport has ever seen. And having him at heavyweight now, like I said, 240 plus with a full thick frame of a heavyweight, that's just scary. With the
Yeah.
athletic, like, and that's crazy, because if we can see anyone that was close to what because we don't know what John Jones is at heavyweight yet. But if we can envision someone who we can think who John Jones is, there's Ciryl Gane with a lot better wrestling. That's what John Jones is. That's scariness. Granted, uh, John Jones, I think, is a little bit more prolific. A lot of people give Ciryl Gane the edge with striking, but I'll be honest, I do think that, like, John Jones is a little bit different when it comes to the type of striking he has that makes him unique. Where in any division, you're not going to be a better striker than him, to me. You know what I mean? So I do think that Ciryl Gane is the closest thing we can come to seeing what we can envision. So the fact that the first time we get to see John Jones in the cage at heavyweight is against Ciryl Gane, 'cause at the end of the day, we all know Ngannou is a not a one trick pony like our boy Derek Lewis, but it's not the bag isn't as deep.
Right. We knew he was a great striker, but his wrestling was getting better. But he never got his wrestling to a top wrestling level in the UFC.
Exactly. And while crazy enough, we thought Sergey has better wrestling skills than Nagano, he did get beat by wrestling in their fight.
That's true.
He's still more of a well-rounded fighter when it comes to overall skill set. So
I don't
truly,
agree with that. Nah, I think Ngannou's way more of a
think
well-rounded fighter than Gane.
no.
Yeah, I mean at this
Nagano,
point he got beat
but
by
that's the thing.
wrestling.
But that's the thing. But Nagano's only given us one fight of wrestling, and it wasn't even good wrestling. Like,
It
like
was good enough.
it
It
was
was
good
good enough.
enough for
It was
that
good enough.
fight. But even then,
But we're
even with
comparing
like,
both of them though. I mean, I mean, I can see what you're
but
saying,
but
but
that's
I
the thing,
just
because
I think
Nagano, for him, I have Ciryl Gane as a better striker than Nagano. He got more power than Nagano, but still Ciryl Gane, until we see John Jones throw a punch in that cage this weekend. Ciryl Gane is the most prolific heavyweight fighter when it comes to just hands. Kickboxer, he's the most prolific heavyweight.
I could definitely agree with that. No, I was talking about like overall as a fighter, comparing Ngannou and Gane. I think Ngannou's a better overall fighter than Gane.
Well, I
Like
mean,
as
well,
far
what
as
I mean
overall
by that,
skills.
I mean skill. Well, for me, when I mean skill set, I mean deeper. Like Nagano doesn't have a deep bag.
No, but remember, Ngannou, he was young in the UFC, and like
Right. No,
Ngannou just got into one thing about Ciryl Gane. They used Ngannou and him. They used to practice together in France. They were fight partners in France for a while. But Ciryl Gane's been in the fight game since he was 13 years old. Ngannou he just started fighting when he was like 26, 27 years old. So Ngannou still had time. I mean, we can definitely talk about him, as well, like in the future, because that's a good question. That's really a good question. Like, who's got the better skill set? Because we can even put John Jones in there. I mean, John Jones, you could say he's prolific in every sense of the way.
John Jones to me and that's the thing. Like we could talk predictions, and we haven't even got there yet. But like we all thought Cyril had a better skill set than Nagano. Nagano won. So I'm not even talking about who I'm picking yet. But when we talk about Jones' skill set, I feel like he has the best skill set in the UFC.
100%. He's got all three levels. He can
Mm-hmm.
submit people, he can knock people out, and he's got great defense as well, which is insane for a big guy like that to have great defense.
Right, to be that big, and I think a big part of it too is his fucking wingspan.
Yeah,
His
and
reach is so
reach,
long.
the reach for sure. Him being able to, like, I don't know if you notice his body, like his legs are so damn long, and compared
So
to like waist,
long, bro.
like,
Yeah, the fucking
so
jab and oblique kick. Oh, that
yeah.
should be killing
Whenever
me.
people try to take him down and they go for those like takedowns, he literally he'll do like that tree stance where the triangle stance basically. So he doesn't go down because his feet, he keeps them so wide, and he never goes down. Takedown defense overall in the UFC 95%. So my man rarely goes down when somebody is unless it's a trip or like a really really nice takedown, he rarely goes down.
Nah, 100%. Um, but pretty much, it's so funny because we were just going back and forth, just going off. Everything started. What I was trying to say was we have the two biggest, the deepest skill sets, like two of the best heavyweights that we can imagine going against each other. To where this fight can go deep in the trenches, and it is going to go deep in the trenches, and we're really going to see what each man is made up of. And I absolutely love it. So,
Yeah, man,
do
it's
you
gonna be
want
a good one. It's gonna be
do
a
you
good
want to
one.
take it away? Because we didn't even start yet. Do you want to take it
No,
away?
we
Or you
really
want me to
didn't,
take it
but
yet?
it's honestly, it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane because, like you said, we have not seen John Jones in the ring, and until we see him in the ring, we don't know what to expect for
Really
him as a
don't.
heavyweight fighter. One
Yeah.
thing about his training though, he did say that for this fight, he's not gonna cut any weight, so that's why that actually puts him in an advantage a little bit.
That's why
And
he tried to go slowly up to 240. So that's not just his fight, like that's his frame, and he can maintain and do like whatever he needs to do
yeah,
at that weight. Yeah.
and he's said for like he said that he never takes fights or like quick fights. He'll never take a quick fight. He always likes to prepare for his fights, and this has been a 6 month preparation, and he hasn't like he's gotten to this weight around 6 months ago, and he stayed at this weight, so he's been able to train at this weight, and it looks like from the training sessions that he's had, from what we're hearing, he has the endurance. Been doing a lot of aquatic training, been swimming. That definitely helps you with endurance. And honestly, with him having this reach, it's gonna help him stay away from Ciryl Gane because, like you said, Ciryl Gane's definitely got crazy knockout power, crazy knockout power. I would probably give it him, Derek Lewis, like Ngannou or top three right there. Derek Lewis obviously number one, but you know, Ciryl Gane's up there for top three knockout power as a heavyweight fighter. John Jones can do it too, but he's definitely a more technical fighter. John Jones likes to be more technical with a little bit of style there. He can come around and he'll do like a spinning back punch or something, or he'll do like a jumping knee, or he'll do like some stylistic things that
Hmm.
make you say like, wow, like this man is the best athlete in the UFC we've ever seen, which I would never see Ciryl Gane doing. One thing that I'm wondering is really how much conditioning John Jones has for this fight. If he's going to be able to have the speed that we've always seen him have in the UFC, then this is not even going to be a matchup, because I see Ciryl Gane as being a lot slower than John Jones, especially from what I used to see from John Jones. Like I said, we haven't seen him lately, but I still think that if he keeps his conditioning to what it used to be, even like 80% of what it used to be, and he's going to be able to take care of business in this fight. And honestly, I do think that he'll get hit a few times early, especially with the nerves. You know, he hasn't been there in a while. The crowd is going to be jumping. They're really going to be hyped. It's going to be definitely a crazy atmosphere. So he definitely might be a little bit nervous in the beginning. Nerves might hit, and he might get hit a few times. But once he gets himself a minute or two, I think he's going to get back into 100% John Jones, the GOAT era John Jones. And I see this man going for strikes, especially head strikes, right, left combos. I see him trying to keep this fight on the ground, and most of the fight on the ground, and definitely see him dominating most of the fight. But I'm not gonna give you my prediction yet, because I do think that I have some things to say about Gane too, though. But what do you think though about this one though? Who you got for this fight?
I mean, yeah, it's like I said, the reason why like you said, John Jones is so technical, and that's why I said the first heavyweight we've seen that ever has been a technical fighter was Ciryl Gane. We haven't seen that up until then. But at the end of the day, like you said, Bon Gammon still has been able to knock out and go toe to toe. Like think about Tai Tuivasa is another person you got to add in there with heavyweight power. Him and Derek Lewis, he went toe to toe with both of them and knocked both of them out. Obviously, he also knocked out Dos Santos. He's got submissions, he's got decisions. He can take it any which way. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, that's why it is going to be a real battle, because you got two fighters at heavyweight that we've never seen before. We've never seen a fight like this get set up, where they both are pretty much prolific on all three levels, and no one knows which way this fight can end. But just how kind of you was mentioning, just at the end of the day, like it's John Jones. I'll be honest, like I didn't even think about picking John. But at the end of the day, I'm like, listen, 2 years off. I just really don't know what to say. I don't know what I to expect. I don't care that he just lost to Nagano. Still Gane still got those skill set. I know what he has to offer. And I know training isn't everything. But I will fight weeks. Training camp coming up. I like to really take a good look into the fighter, the mindset, what they're doing. And I love John's camp right now.
Yeah,
John's camp is set up real nice. He's like you said, he's staying at his weight for all these months, been fighting nothing but big boys all these months. He has every single intention of taking this fight to the ground, leaving it on the ground. I promise you, John might go out there and throw less than 10 punches around on their feet. Like he wants to go in there, show a little bit. Like I really think he's adamant about, like, because to him, going out there and showing he can fight with the big boys isn't what he got big for when it comes to standing up. They all could fight. None of them can wrestle.
The wrestling is their problem usually. Usually, like for the big boys, that's the problem.
John Jones wants to go out there, and that's why that's what people don't understand. Like I'm guessing, you know what I'm saying? I'm not John Jones. But people kept not understand, like, why would you need to go up 50 pounds and stay where you're at? Because 100%, John Jones could have won it there at 215 to 205 and knocked out. And I'm gonna say knock out because the last couple fights, like he had the last 3 fights with decisions, so he started to slow down a little bit.
He did,
but he could have went out there and got some ground and pound or submissions on some heavyweights, or got some decisions on heavyweights. I would say even knocked out, because once you get one of those type of heavyweights that's been out wrestled for 2 rounds to the ground, they might just be too tired to even try to like really.
That's a good point, especially if it's a championship matchup, third, fourth round,
That's what
fifth
I'm
round,
saying. Yeah,
you always
yeah.
see them getting like crazy tired. But one thing about Jones, man, like even in his last few fights, he didn't. I know they went to decisions, but he didn't look tired in that like
No,
fourth or fifth
and that's
round.
what
Like
I'm saying.
he's
Like
a guy
at,
that can withstand that.
at 205 to 215, he could have won in there and won fights and even probably won a belt. Like Stipe's not a big heavyweight.
Nah, he's like the perfect type of heavyweight you want to fight, really. I
He,
mean, the thing about Ciryl Gane, I think that his body type, the way that it looks like the most is like a taller Daniel Cormier, I guess you could say, with better striking.
Nah, Ciryl Gane, no, Daniel Cormier was had a little gut. Ciryl Gane is like
I know he did, yeah, but
once again pause. But when it comes to heavyweight bodies, Francis is the predator. We get it, you know what I'm saying? But Ciryl Gane was straight just thorough, bro.
arms were
Like
crazy,
that
crazy
man was
arms,
just
crazy arm
brolic
strength.
everywhere. The abs was solid. Like he was. I think I compared him to Anthony Joshua boxer. Like we'd never seen a heavyweight look like that and be agile, be strong, be quick. Obviously, but I think that's why John Jones did what he wanted to do because he wants to go in there and drag them big boys around. He didn't want
Yeah,
to go out there at 205, 215, tap tap, win a nice low. He wants to go in there and drag them big boys around. That's why he put the weight on. I'm positive that he's about to go in there and take this fight to the ground. And while Sergey has the skill set, I just it's really hard to decide on. It's John Jones, bro.
yo, John
Like,
Jones, and like you just said, like the Anthony Joshua body, my man John Jones put on the weight, but my man still got a 8-pack pause. But like for real, my man
that's,
is looking incredible for this fight, and I gotta say, I'm so excited to watch him. I know that a lot of people really, really, really wanted to see Ngannou and John Jones fight.
this is the better fight.
That's stylistically,
Yes.
it is. Stylistically, it is because you got both of these guys. They can strike and they can both wrestle. I think that if you had Ngannou versus John Jones would have taken it to the ground and he probably would have
Easily,
controlled it
because
on the ground.
how do you stop a one-trick pony?
But here's the thing, though, with this fight, I know you
Wrestle.
said that it's gonna go to. That's true with wrestling, but I know you said that this fight is gonna be mostly on the ground. I disagree, though. I think that Gane is gonna be the one that's gonna keep trying to get up. Even when he gets down, he's not gonna want to stay down. I don't see Gane trying to go for many takedowns on John Jones. I just don't, because like we said, John Jones has one of the best takedown defense in the UFC, top 3 in the UFC. I just think that with him being able to like stay off the ground, Ciryl is not going to try as much and try to put him down as much, and they're going to try to stay up. Now, with that being said, I do think that Ciryl gives himself a little bit of an advantage there because if he's able to like touch John Jones with some punches, then he can ring him. And I don't think John Jones has gotten punched even in training. He hasn't gotten real punched like this, in 2 years. So, it's going to be tough for him, but his conditioning comes down to it. Going into the third, fourth, fifth round, I think Ciryl Gane is going to start getting a little bit more tired, and that's when John Jones shows out and he shows who he really is. He shows that he's one of the best stand-up fighters as well as a wrestler and the technician on the ground. I see him really going in the third round and beating up on Ciryl Gane's face and honestly getting him nice, and then Ciryl Gane falling down close to the cage, and then John Jones 1, 2, 3. The red referee comes over and stops it all. Third round knockout, John Jones. That's what I think is going to happen, to be honest, though. But I really want to hear what you think, though. How you think this is gonna end? Because you almost seem like you're going John Jones, but you're not 100% sure, right?
So for me, I definitely think it's going to be a close fight, but I think that John is on a mission when it comes to what he want to accomplish, and the fact that I don't. So you're right, Cyril Gane isn't going to go for takedowns, but unfortunately, the one thing that basically lost him the fight, it wasn't that Ngannou out wrestled him.
Yeah.
It's Ngannou took him down, and Cyril Gane couldn't get up.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what happened. Ngannou didn't out wrestle him. He didn't out grapple him. He didn't. There wasn't trans. He got him down and he couldn't get up. If those are the two things you cannot stop against John Jones, you're in for a rude awakening and a rough night. So for that reason, I got John Jones, but I got it by decision. You got a very good point. It could turn into a ground and pound situation. The ref called him off. But for the most part, I do think that John is going to play it smart. Um, Ciryl Gane isn't a bum, so it's not like John's gonna run right through him. That's why I do gotta go into decision. But I do think, just like the Valentina fight, it's gonna be a fight about control time. Because whether Ciryl Gane is, and that's the thing, I hope he's prepared to take it to the ground because that's like, then I'll be honest, that's just some like just a week I've been watching John, and like he's flat out even said it. Like he said it. He don't think the Frenchman's been tested. He don't think that
And I
he's
agree,
like,
yo. I'll be honest, I agree. Other than Ngannou, I don't think he has.
and he said it, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not just saying the word trenches because I like the word. Like I'm taking a direct quote. He is going to drag him in the trenches, and I know exactly what that means. I know exactly what
Wants to
that means.
bring him down and put his body on top of him
He's
and
gonna
hold
he's gonna
control,
drag him. Yeah,
get him
he's gonna drag
tired.
him. That's what I'm saying. He's not worried about going tit for tat with someone who got really good striking. He's not worried about
I
that.
could I could see that for sure. It's just that Ngannou was a little bit heavier, than John Jones is. John's pulling 240, Ngannou was almost 260, so he was at like 255.
But Jones is gonna be stronger.
Yeah, yeah,
Nagano
yeah.
probably has a stronger right hand, but when it comes to wrestling strong,
No,
being able
that's
to
what I
get a
mean. Like,
takedown,
no,
happened.
once Ngannou was on top of Ciryl Gane, he
It
was
was
able to like
over.
put his body like on top of him. He was a lot heavier. With John Jones being a little bit lighter, Ciryl Gane might have a little bit of an advantage being
He
on the
won't
ground. You don't think he'll be able to get up from
because
those?
John Jones can actually wrestle. That's what I'm saying. John
Yeah,
Jones
yeah,
don't
yeah.
need the 20 pounds when he's a prolific
Yeah.
wrestler. He will out grapple, out transition, out. He'll pretty much just go in and out of all the cuts and just pretty much not be able, like Nagano Game would not be able to get himself easily out. And I say he struggled with transitions against Nagano. Nagano don't even know anything. You're going against a person with a
Go
wrestling pedigree that's literally world class. Yeah, like
world class, exactly.
you're screwed.
No, I
You're
mean
screwed.
I'm 100% with you. I just want to play devil's advocate for a bit, but
Yeah, yeah.
I just I even like the stuff that Ciryl Gane's been saying. Like he said that like he doesn't need training camp. He can be lazy and still fight this fight. And I mean, his coaches came out and said like, oh, that's not what he meant. He didn't mean that he's not training. Like, all right, but he said it. Like he said that. He said he doesn't need training for this fight when John Jones came out and said, I've been training for this fight for the last 6 months. So, the more prepared fighter and the one that's like really focused in is my man John Jones. And John Jones even said he believes that this is destiny. It's his destiny to come back and get that heavyweight championship again.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely is someone who, granted all his bad choices, he still think that he's a warrior sent from God, sent to this earth to be put in that
So
cage, to beat people's face in the name of the
that's
Lord
exactly what
Jesus.
he said.
No,
That's what he said. That's what he said.
yeah, hey,
Just
hey,
gave
to
him that
each their
power, boy.
own, to each their own, say,
No, but this
so
is definitely
yeah.
gonna be a chess match early. Like this is literally gonna be a crazy fight, especially early. I can see both these boys like really trying to figure each other out early.
hmm And that's what I said. Once John get bored, he already know where he going.
Yeah, man.
Single leg.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Get that single leg takedown. Just bring him right up. Bring him right up.
I actually
Yep.
think he's going for the double. I think he wants to slam him that first time, really, really show him. But that double's gonna be hard to get on game.
Man,
He's gonna have to
I'll
get
be
it real
I'll
low.
be
He's gonna have
honest,
to get
man.
real low.
I think most of this fight is gonna be on the ground for me. I really
Yeah.
believe that. I think most of this fight is gonna be on the ground, even if Jones gets a takedown. I think Ciryl will be able to like somehow slip away. His wrestling might be better, but I still got Jones, the GOAT, coming back.